This is Maree. You are here with the Skeinz Diaries. Sorry, I'm late. Got caught up in the shop with some customers. And, customers always come first, don't they? So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Episode 245. And it is the 7th of September. I can't believe it's September. Honestly, I don't even know where the year has gone. Seriously feel like I'm running around in circles. I've just gone and grabbed... I've just, when you grab something off the... there we go. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. I know I'm late and you're coming in late. I've got things to show you. First thing is I did remember to bring my work in progress with me to show you, which I obviously forgot on Monday. And so I have now got 2 whips. 3 if you count my scrappy blanket, which is I always have a scrappy blanket. It was kind of weird going into Knittlebus Nights and not having literally a single work in progress because I'd finished it all. I have the 2 whips. I need to start the new one for the poncho. I just need to pin down what it is I'm going to knit in the poncho. I'm just going through that decision matrix now of what that is going to be. I think I'm there, but I just need to get onto that and get that cast on. I've handwritten the notes. I need to also get those notes and scrawl them out and send them to Delene as well so she can start knitting it simultaneously. And when I say simultaneously, she will have it finished before I barely get full rows cast on. So I'm doing that so we can get that out and about and happening for you. So it's been full on. It has been really, really full on. So I just need to decide what I'm going to do. I think I know what I'm going to get Del to do it in. I think I'm going to, quite exciting. So it has been full on. And that's the nice thing about spring, because often spring here, we've had the spring cleaning, literally, where we've cleared out a whole bunch of stock. The girls got through all the sales stuff, and the mill has been catching up with all the backlog with all the delays post Gabby, because of course the Gabby, she threw quite the spanner in our works down here, and we're still sort of navigating the after effects of that. So we've got yarns coming in. I'm going to show you some this morning, and a lot of it is stuff that they again have. I won't bore you with the details, but the reality of it is that we've had some leftover fiddly bits of fiber and like what we call raw white stocks, that not massive amounts, so not enough for what I call a full intense range, but enough that we can do like little micro ranges and things. And we've gone and done that. A series of colors that we brought to you earlier in the year that you loved. You absolutely loved. Well, we've gone and we've had a DK and a full play weight, and we've gone and done those colours again across those both of those weights. I'm hoping to get those loaded up today for you. I also want to show you some colour options for the mystery knit-alongs, the West Knits mystery knit-along with the gradient theme. I talked about that a little bit with Ethan last week. And I've grabbed the Eros because we've got some great options with Eros, and this new micro range is almost the same count. It's within Kui. It's like if you were to knit it, and from a gauge perspective, you will not notice a difference. So it's that close gauge wise. So it means that if we didn't have quite the gradient you wanted in the Eros, we can do it just with a straight merino, and it's the same construction, so it will look fabulous. Maureen saying, yeah, YouTube wasn't being nice. I know part of it, Maureen, is I was late. Doesn't help. Anyway, I'm going to start off with my whip before we get into the gradient stuff and show you what I've been up to. So I mentioned to you the other day about how I had, actually I'll show you the one I've wound off, my fabulous gorgeous from Sue Goodley, and I thought I just grabbed it because I love the colour. The colour was me, totally had my name written all over it, and I had to buy the colour, and I didn't even look at the weight. which is a vintage Maree thing to do. I was totally magpied by the colour. I mean, it had two of my favourite colour palettes, basically, autumnal colours mixed in with turquoises and teals. So, and gel colours. So I was there all day long. It just, it's like she dyed it for me. Then realised I was going to do the poncho on this, realised that it was full ply. So then I dived around in stash, and I had two skeins of this little beauty, which is the mohair that we did for Knit August Nights 2019. And this is the peacock colorway that we did for Stephen B. And many of you may have some of this in stash. So we did two. We did Licorice Twist and we did Peacock. And this is the Peacock. And I had two skeins of this in stash. And I looked at that and I thought, well, there's all the turquoises there. And I thought, oh, that's a thing. Let me swatch, because yes, I swatch. I swatch all the time. In fact, I'm always knitting swatches. So I grabbed out the 6mm needles, which is what the poncho was knitted on, did my swatch, because I thought, well, I'll swatch it all up, see what it looks like. If I'm happy with it, off we go. We're off to the races. And I swatched it and I loved it. And then I thought to myself, and I broke this to Ethan the other day, seriously, the eye roll. He sighed, big sigh, and he's just like, really? I looked at it and did the swatch, and I thought, oh, I could do the poncho on it, but, and I'll give you a hint. Yeah. I suddenly thought, I've not knit a love note with the mohair, which is really what it's originally written for, this fine weight plus mohair. And because the swatch was so gorge, I cast it on, and there it is. So I'm halfway through the lace. In fact, I've just finished the first set of 10 in the lace section. Let's open this out so you can see it. There you go. So there it is there. And as you can see, it is looking glorious. And I am in love. I'm so happy. And yeah, I'm super happy. Super, super happy. So I am going to do, yes, another love note. But, this is me. And I like to be repetitive. And I like to knit what I like to knit. And that's what it's about, isn't it? But look at that. Oh, yeah. And it's knitting up beautifully. It is going to be so zany when it's done. So it's not sort of this nice, what I call, urban chic type love note, which this is Storn Away. So if you love this one, and believe me, I thrash this. This should be by rights out in the shop as a sample for everyone with Southlander September, but I thrash it too much. I haven't done that. So this is in the Highlander Heathers in the Storn Away. I just adore it. It's perfect in it. I dropped the needle size on this from 6mm to 5mm, still knit the same size. I don't quite have the same ease in there, but it doesn't matter. I've got more than enough ease. I've done not the biggest size. I've done the next size down, and in this, because of the amount of ease, and I'm being a good girl and doing this in the 6mm needle, I've actually dropped back a size on this. So usually I would do the. I'm actually doing the XL size in this, not the 2 to 3 XL, which is what this one is, but dropped back. And the reason I've done that is because this one fits so well that I think that this one will be the same. So I have actually pulled my sizing back on that. So I'm really excited. So this is what I call sort of the urban chic love note, the urban chic love note. And if you love this love note and you love how this looks, Southlander makes a great job of this design, an absolute great job. Yes, tin can knits. Yep, that's right. And it's and if you're wanting to get one of these whipped out or on the needles while we've got our Southlander promotion going, definitely now is the time to do it. So that is awesome. So that is what I've got on the needles. I know, it's exciting. I don't know you guys, once I get through this lace panel down to here, and then I do the dividing for the sleeve, it's seriously really fast to knit. Yeah, and Fiona's just saying Scotch Mist Love Note is running up for the next project. You know what? Amazing. And that's the thing with the Scotch Mist and the Rosewell, Scotch Mist and Rosewell especially, if you want to do the fuzz, 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 we have Whisper Fine Mohair that will match with it. We've got the Maree the ice and the Whisper Fine Mohair and the Scotch Mist run together south in the sport weight, or the Rosewell with the Provence and the Whisper Fine Mohair and the sport weight, and you could do the Fuzzy Fuzz as well. I know, so good. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I hadn't completely lost my knitting mojo, but it was a bit, I was on a lull, and it's so nice to get excited about my knitting again. And it's really frustrating. I haven't had a day off since I was sick with the flu weeks and weeks and weeks ago. I've worked every day, including the weekends. I don't know whether I'm coming or going, and it's really super frustrating because I'm just hanging out for a day where I can have a good chunk of the day knitting, because that's all I want to do, because I'm just loving that so much. Speaking of the Southlander, and I feel awful because I completely forgot to grab it, but I have, I think it went out on newsletter yesterday. I remember writing it, I can't remember where I scheduled it. Truly Myrtle. We have got the Truly Myrtle offer up and running. So it's really super simple. Purchase 5 balls of any of the Southlander by Truly Myrtle, whether it be sport weight or DK, and you get a free shawl or hat pattern from Truly Myrtle worth $18, printed pattern, a physical actual for realsies pattern that we have. If you come into the shop and purchase, we have them all there, and you can select which one you want. If you are doing it online, the girls will make a very special selection just for you. But either way, it is just a gift with purchase from both us and from Truly Myrtle. So that is just an incredible offer. So if you are wanting to mix and match some of those Truly Myrtle yarns, or if you're wanting to do a love note in the Myrtle, or you're wanting to do any of the gorgeous sweater designs using the Southlander by Truly Myrtle yarn, this is a great way to get yourself another pattern worth that value, worth $18 as well. And we've got a whole huge selection. I took Libby is redesigning all her printed patterns, so I've gone and grabbed all the old, well, not old, but all the current alliterations, and that's what we're using for the promotion. So it's a great way to bolster your pattern library from Truly Myrtle. So you can do that as well. Now, last thing on Southlander before I go. So as we mentioned before, Southlander September, Southlander September. I know, haven't had a day off. It's been a long week. $7.95 for the standard, $8.90, usually $8.95, and our Myrtles are $9.95. But just arrived this morning. I literally, because my what I call my emergency photography light, which I use when we don't send stuff up to Steph and we want to get it on instantly, died. So that's part of the reason I'm running around. I've had to scream to Kmart. Thank goodness Kmart's only 2 minutes it's on the other side of the industrial estate from us here. I just screamed to Kmart to get another light, because this again, just Claire and I have been waiting for this colour. We're so super excited. A new Southlander colour. This is copper. We've had people ask us, when are you going to put a rich, deep orange or copper in the range? And here she is, and she's delicious, and it's wonderful, and I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. So this sits in those warm colours. It is literally our former copper orange that we used to do in Perrindale, which we've popped over the top of this. It looks freaking amazing. I've already had one of my orange autumnal orange ladies in this morning, and she was picking up 2 other Southlander colours that she was playing with, and this was sitting here on the desk, and I said, go and have a look at that, Nola. And she took one look. She went, we've only got it in DK at the moment. The sport weight and the bulky will not be in until November because we've got to respin those batches. But we did have enough DK. We'd actually just spun the DK batch, so we were able to get that on that. So that is up now. Thanks, Kathy. Kathy's just popped the link in if you're on Facebook. It is, yeah. Oh, seriously, I couldn't be happier. So it's great to be able to launch that new colour. And it just looks so good with all the other colours. It just works. It was like the gap that we had. It's a brilliant pop of colour if you're playing around doing some colour work with the naturals. So if you look at a lot of that Nordic colour work, they use lots of sort of charcoal, cream, natural, and lots of actually a copper is the color that they'll often add in as their pop of color. So it is so good to finally have that copper in the range. So that is up and live now. All right. So then the next thing, I'm just going to put these in because it just is so much easier to put these in here because I'm going to use this box to highlight these. So then, as I mentioned earlier when I got started, we are doing a series of colours. We had, when the mill did their sort of bit of a clean out, they had some 4-ply and DK. So not massive amounts. So we've done these 2 micro ranges, and you may recognise these colours because they sold out in nanoseconds. Oh, that lighting is not the best, is it? Let's go there. Come on, Mr. Camera. It's because of the black box. That's why. Let's take that out of the black box then. Didn't like the black box, did it? Right, let's try that. There we go. That's better. So there they are there. Do you remember these? We did these in Albertine. These beautiful gelato colours. And we've redone them. So they've gone on to a merino DK, which isn't the same as Albertine. It's actually one we've done for someone else. It's slightly finer weight than Albertine, but gorgeous. And this is the 4-ply version. And the 4-ply version is divine. It is stunning. Utterly, there we go. That's a good representation. Utterly stunning. So these have come out just in time if you're wanting to get your little combos together for the Stephen West knit along. Now, I sent out, Sue Copus was our winner in the Skeinz Speakeasy, and this is what, I just put these in the bag so you can see them. This is what I sent to Sue, all right? And I did this as, after talking to Ethan last week, we talked about the mystery knit along, and Eros is perfect for the mystery knit along. So I've gone gradient here, and then we talked about the contrast gradient. So I've gone with these 4 shades. So we've got Carolina and Dynasty, which are 2 beautiful natural gradient shades anyway. Of course, you've got the nude, which goes with everything. Now, you would have thought you can go this way. Okay, so then that's sepia, sepia, what did I call that? Moon, sepia, Dynasty, and Carolina. There is a gradient right there. There are 4 colours right there. But I took the Ethan advice and went with the contrast. And this is the sort of colour combination that you will see a lot in Japanese knitting. The Japanese will use black a lot, and it's really effective. How often have you seen an Oro yarn and there is just this crazy random black through there, and you think, oh, that's weird, but it works, and you will be amazed at what black will do in a colour combination like that. So that's what went out to Sue. So that's one option. The other nice thing is as if you're thinking, I'd really much rather keep things more sort of in the zone. You could actually play around with something like that and throw that green in from the new range. So that would work. We also have, let me pull out. There are so many combinations with this. Honestly, I'm going to actually put all these combos up to sort of show you. Another combination that I think works really, really well is that little guy. So that is Flirty and Infatuation. And again, you could drop that out and go the black option. Would work fabulously well. And then we have the autumnal version. And actually, I would change out the nude and go with the sepia with that version. Look at that. hello, if you're somebody in the autumnal spectrum, isn't that divine? So that would work fabulously well. And if you don't like the idea, if you're a little bit prefer something a little bit zingier, throw in the bronze instead. Look at that. Oh, and that's all within Eros. Over here with the others, as I pull these down, this is the opal, which is that beautiful, beautiful rose gold. Look at this little gem. And this is the oat. So, oh gosh, there we go. So oat at the bottom there, opal, flirty and infatuation for that gradient combination. I know, I can feel you reaching. I can feel you reaching for the knit along as we speak. Gorge, right? Oh, see, look at this one. Here we go. There's another option. Oh, I love this game. Oh, look at that little bundle. Actually, I'm going to drop you out. We're going to go cool. Where is my... Yeah, that works. Look at that. So we've got Imperial Finch Oat and... No, Imperial Finch Opal and Celestine there. Oh, there's so many different combinations. So these are all... will be up shortly. When I say shortly, I'm going to use... I've got photography from the previous, and they're identical colours on an almost identical base down. So I'm able to sort of, I'm going to get these up using the photography that I had for the Albertine, because we've checked colour matched them and they're the same. So it just means that you can get to see them and they're there. You may already have them in stash. So I will be working on that this afternoon. But if you're wanting to get in on the Geo Gradient Mystery Knit Along, if you're in the Facebook watching this now, Kathy's going to pop those links up there for you. Eros and these Merino 4-ply, it just extends your colour options. And because in terms of softness and lushness, as I mentioned before, they're spun to the same construction. The count is ever so slightly different. You're looking at 151 meters here and 144 meters there. So what that means is that there's, like, to the naked eye, there's not a discernible difference in the thickness, so you can actually use these interchangeably. Yeah, this if I were doing the mystery knit along, and before you ask, no, I'm not, because I need to get the poncho finished and this finished and other things done. Oh, well, you never know. If I get my skates on, I'll see how I go. See how I travel. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be evil. I'm going to wait for those first few clues to come out. That's what I did last time. And we'll see how we go. Fun, right? So much fun. So this gives you some really neat options if you're wanting to get involved in that mystery knit along. There is still also some other fantastic yarns to come out. The mill have been super busy and, as I said, catching up on all that post-Gabby dyeing that we couldn't get done while the dye house was out of order. Well, you know, unable to use the wastewater. So there's so much coming. And if you've got things planned, there is plenty of goodness to be had. So make sure you keep your knitting up. Keep sharing to the speakeasy. Kiwi Classic is our theme this month. And we did that because, of course, Southlander is a Kiwi Classic. But there's plenty of other Kiwi Classics that could be a Kiwi Classic design, like from designer from Lisa F. or truly Myrtle, or any of our other great New Zealand designers that are out there. And just share away and get in on the fun. I will be back on Monday. I will see you then. But until then, have a great weekend knitting. And fingers crossed, I'll have more progress to show you then. Take care.